don't know how you feel about McDonald's, but I don't think the response that the Genshin racist kids are really giving it is warranted. Let me give you an example here. Let's just talk about this. There's a Genshin Impact and McDonald's collaboration. They're selling products. As you can see here, it's just the usual McDonald's trying to be like, we're anime friendly too. Come have your weeb snacks with us. You get QR codes, you get a set of wings, I guess. You get enough cheeseburgers, box tops, and cute characters tossed in here with the McDonald's colors and some McDonald's merch, product, whatever you'd like to call it. You got it right there. And man, those Genshin racists, they really hate this. They really, really hate this. So here we go. F Genshin and their racist genocide supporting ass. And it's like, I didn't see in here anything about genocide. I see wings. There's wings of genocide, I guess. I'm not sure. And then this person had an entirely intelligent response, and they decided to spell out something you're not allowed to say on YouTube out of game sprites, I guess. I don't even think these aren't even Genshin sprites. This is random sprite character. I don't know. Anyway, and again, this is in response to that McDonald's ad. And again, I don't see anything evil inherently here, but this is how these kids respond to this stuff. Then over here, we've got this great headline. It says, Genshin Impact revenue increases over 8% in spite of the active boycott against the game developer. And you hear that truck going by right now. That is the truckload of money on its way to Hoyoverse, thanks to the boycotters spreading the word around. That's right. Those boycotters, they did more to help the game than they did to hurt it. But it gets worse, folks. It gets worse. We've got some big kids out there. We've got some kids out there that they want to let you know that they're not doing fan art for Genshin Impact characters from, official characters from the game. They're only doing OCs now, okay? So let's read what Jewel draws. Now, just for an idea, this is what Jewel draws, I guess? This is what their art is. This is how they do this. A gift for amazing O.C. Bakari. This is Genshin Impact original characters. And so this person wants to stress that they're not going to be doing official characters anymore, and here's why. I wish to inform everyone that I will only be doing Genshin Impact original character-related content from now on and no more fan art of the official characters due to the ongoing boycott. I find that the original character makers of the Genshin community have far more creativity and diversity in their designs than the actual game itself, and they deserve the praise and attention more than Hoyoverse does. This is my personal choice since I like the concept of the world of Genshin, the world of Genshin has, and some of the characters. I just no longer will play the game until change might happen. Thank you all for reading. Please respect my choice. I want to continue to lift up amazing character designers in this community, and please take into consideration my words to not play the game if you can and encourage others to do so in the most positive way you can. So there you go. You got these people out here that are so distraught over skin tones, all right, that they're going out here and they're eliminating their commissions. They're taking themselves out of the commission market. It's amazing how people have just completely misconstrued what's going on with this game. As we said in the intro, it's fantasy. It's not real life. It gets even worse. The racism on these people is amazing, right? So this nice little fluffy, I'm just going to do OCs now. Please leave me alone. I don't like the real game because it doesn't reward my sense of the world that I live in, not the real, not the game world. But here you go. And this is pretty good. It says, when boycotters think everyone is white and the characters in Genshin are white people, damn, you really hate white people. If you hate white people so much, you just like one of those racist peoples in the old days. And so this person, Kloboki, I think their name is, Kloboki, says, I don't give an F about you. I'm just here to laugh at you for not knowing shit. Since you're concerned about your loved ones, I'm just going to assume you're white since this racism doesn't affect you enough. Apparently having a family makes you racist now? Caring about your family is racism? Anyway, typical Hoyoverse boycotter, they're being racist without even knowing, or they just don't give a shit. Hypocrites. And then this person asks, why should I? And then they're informed, if you will. It says, racism hurts people. You're making yourself seen as a dick. Nobody will like you. I presume that's already the case for you. It's not doing anything good for anyone. It's just a waste of time. And this person says, "Duh." And it's good that they're making themselves look bad. And unfortunately, not the case IRL and online. Apparently, people like this person. I'm not really sure why. And they respond with, "Yeah, they're perfectly fine with being racist against white people." So there you go. And, as you know, out in the world, it's impossible, right? It's impossible to be racist to white people, but that's what this person is clearly doing out here. Even though their avatar here is quite light complected, but who cares, right? It's just not supposed to make sense. You're just supposed to be mad. You're just supposed to be mad. And so over here we've got R, and R is pointing out what happened with Mualani Daily, or Daily Mualani, excuse me. So this character was originally a boycott person. This person was all about the boycott. And then all of a sudden, when they started advertising Mualani and all the neat things she could get up to and all the cute little emoji dances that she does, this person decided, I guess I'm not so mad now. And they said, Mualani wanters will be Mualani havers. This is in response to a Genshin Impact promotional post about Mualani. But check it out. Up here at the top, it says hashtag boycott Hoyoverse. How about that? And then, whoops, that's gone missing all of a sudden. Isn't that weird how that just disappeared from this person's tag up at the tippity top? Oh, how about that? And then they're celebrating this TikTok dancer that did the Mualani dance, which again apparently looks to be either a cultural or ethnic related dance. So, you know, it gets even better though. It gets even better though. Here we go. So here's these people that are just laughably out here trying to hurt people. Okay, just straight up malicious with what they're up to. So Altair brings us these examples, and it says this person here is talking about how Natland is not Nigeria; it's a fantasy game, like we pointed out in the beginning. And then Basil just being an or Basil, whatever you want to do it, being an absolute nut, I guess, absolute crazy person says, your family will suffer through various torturous plagues for the rest of eternity. That seems really smart. That seems really, sensible over game characters and their skin tones. Not even anything outwardly hating on a race or demographic, just the wrong skin tone. It's not dark enough. It's the wrong skin tone. Not even the wrong kind of person, just the wrong skin tone. And that's what that resulted in. And then this person responds with throwing out threats because someone disagrees with your opinions is average Twitter shill stuff. And it is. It is. Just to go nuts at somebody like that. Your family will suffer forever. And now, of course, someone drawing a light complected Mualani, this person says, we just bully them? Can we bully this person? Can we bully this Japanese artist that did a very good job and had a lot of fun, clearly, drawing this Genshin character? Wow. Very cool. Very cool, boycotters. Just doing everything that you said that you hate, but whatever. Whatever gets the point across. And so, this person is complaining that Hoyoverse, Genshin Impact, has several different hashtags that they use. This is how desperate they're getting now. They think they're running, right? This person's trying to say that they're flipping to different hashtags. The Hoyoverse company is flipping to different hashtags in order to escape the boycotters. Oh no, they're gonna get us. Oh no, they're gonna get us. But they're mad because there's the hashtag Natlin hashtag, and then there's the Genshin Natlin hashtag, and then there's Natlin Impact hashtag. And oh, they're very mad that these things are out there and that they're focusing on these hashtags and running away from actually changing their game. I don't know. It seems very simple, really, to accept that this game is what it is, and if you don't like it, you can make your own. It's not that hard, quite obviously. Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail definitely demonstrate that, for sure. And then over here, we've got another boycotter asking, what's stopping Hoyoverse from making playable characters with the skin tone? There is just no excuse. Well, there were those in the lineup. That's the thing, is that when the game was finally revealed, they were there. It's just not the characters that they initially advertised with, and that's why everybody's mad. So you may be wondering, why did this totally reasonable, legit, full of very sane people, why did this boycott fail? It just seems so rooted in reality and such logical people such grounded individuals are part of it. So here we go. And it says here, why did the boycott fail? They're trying to discuss this, and it's very painful, very, very painful on the eyes here. So I will read this for you. Don't worry about it. I will take the eye pain, the eye destruction on your behalf. In the future, guys, if you're going to do this orange and that minty green kind of opal color and white, they tend to work very well on like a high C container with like chunks being these colors as opposed to them trying to be organized into an infograph. Just a heads up. Just a heads up for the future, all right? I see you tried hard, but just maybe be a little more careful with those color collisions, if you will. They're not combos, these are collisions. So anyway, number 1 here says, they never stopped playing the game. And as we showed you, I don't need to get into the big paragraph here on it, but as we showed you in the previous slides on this, there are people that are still playing the Genshin Impact game, still doing the polls, if you will, still getting characters to add to their playables and leveling them up. But they're free to play, right? They're on the free to play level. Now they think this is, oh, I'm not paying Genshin, so they're not making money. Well, that's not true. You see, Tencent gets money from you activating the game. It also gets user data out of you that it then sells off to advertisers to then get money out of you later on doing other things. And the other part of it is, too, is that you contribute to an active user base. So if anybody's going over to Steam or any type of player counter checker, they're seeing your numbers involved with that. So congratulations. The only thing you really did was make yourself miserable in this scenario. That's all you did. You didn't change anything at all. The other thing is the boycotters hold no weight. They're just regular people. They're just regular people. The thing is that in the West, the US, Europe, Britain, and even Eastern Europe, these groups together, right? These regions together that play Genshin Impact do not, like, in total, come anywhere near to the amount of engaged players in China, Korea, and Japan that are the focus of the Genshin Impact brand, the Honkai Star Rail brand, and so on and so forth. This is what you're looking at is there's no weight to the boycott because if they did, let's say everybody on that boycott list, everybody you saw in the intro just suddenly decided, we're not going to take it. We're not going to do it anymore. Well, it wouldn't matter. There would be like maybe a statistical anomaly that showed up in the player count, but they would soon be swallowed up by new players on the other end of the world that are discovering because the old players went out and made a big stink about it. Just as we saw, they went up 8% because of all the boycotting. It's amazing. So they are glorifying this in order to make it, they're cloud chasing rather, and so they're glorifying this to assist their cloud chasing and attention seeking. It doesn't have anything to do with Genshin Impact. As you can plainly see through the stuff that we've shown you today and in the past, this has nothing to do with Genshin Impact whatsoever. This has everything to do with kids that have been told, right? And they're kids. We saw this in the change.org petition. Let me see if I can dig that up there. Cultural appropriation. There it is. Sorry, I usually have this stuff just up and flying. So here's that. And so you go. They're at 109,000, pretty much 110,000. We'll get them over to that. But as you can see, these are just kids. These are just kids. They're just young people. Yeah, Brian here.
Hi, hello. My name is Brian, and as a melanated person myself,
He's a melanated person and he's concerned about this. And he goes on to explain that he has issues with the skin tones of these characters that were chiefly advertised in the release of Natlan's initial launch. Like, woohoo, we're doing this, you know? But you'll notice in his background, if you want to get up close to this, let's see if we can zoom in. So you can't open the videos any bigger than they really are because you end up downloading them then. But you see in the background, a good old Brian here, he's got nothing but K-poppers. And I don't know if you know this, but K-poppers, pretty light complected. Pretty light complected. Pretty interesting, those K-poppers. And this is plastered all over this young man's walls, and it would appear that he sleeps in this space, is my guess. He's sitting on his bed making this address after school, most likely. And so as he sleeps at night, the pale complected K-poppers stare down upon him questioning what his problem with Genshin is, you know? And, you know, who could forget this kid, this young fellow right here? And boy, howdy, he's just got it. Let's see what he says.
Racism's bad.
Yeah, nailed it. Nailed it, right? And so this is what you're dealing with over there. You're dealing with young people, and I'm saying this like young people as in like high schoolers. You're dealing with people who are like 14 to maybe 21, but I think that's even pushing it. You're 14 to 18, mostly teenagers that again are engaged in this thought that if it isn't something that comes immediately to mind when such a word is evoked, let me give you an example. When they hear the name Africa for the continent, right? When someone says this character is inspired by Africa, they expect that character to be black. Even though that is not the case. Not every single person in Africa is black. Not every single person in China is Chinese. Not every single person in Japan is Japanese. Strange, I know, right? Again, when you say South America, they expect everybody to look like, I assume, the Fritos Bandito guy. I assume just like the most stereotypical South American taco truck running kind of looking guy, because they don't accept Mualani and these other two here that I can't think of the name of because I'm making the video right now and it's absolutely embarrassing to forget these names, but I'm trying to make a point. I'm so sorry. You'll have to forgive me. These are new characters, and Mualani is the one that I, like everybody else, fixated on because she's adorable. I'm sorry. I didn't mean anything about the little bear breakdancer girl and nothing to do with the guy with the groovy necklace there, but I can't remember their names at the moment. I'm sorry. Anyway, this is what the point is, though, is that these guys are mad that this complexion is this color, right? And so that's what the core of their problem is over here. They could accuse MiHoYo of whitewashing. And it's like, that's not the case. They were inspired by these regions in the real world. The Genshin Impact universe, the Honkai Rail universe, etc., the Hoyoverse, if you will, is not real. Natland is not South America and Africa hanging out together. They are inspired by these regions, and that's okay. That is perfectly fine to have characters that take visual inspiration. Perhaps they take religious inspiration. Perhaps they take some type of aesthetic anyway from what we previously know to belong to these regions like South America, Africa, Russia, China, Japan, India, Australia, the USA, Canada, anywhere you want to go in the world. It's okay to borrow the aesthetic from there. The problem is when you go saying that this person is African and we have decided that they are, we have decided that this person is representative of Nigeria and they are not at all representative of Nigeria. Now, I don't know what that looks like. I'm not going to tell you that that person is white. I'm not going to tell you that person is Chinese or any other thing. But this is where the offense would come in, where a logical, I see why you would have a problem with this would come in, where someone who is forced into this demographic and does not fit it, thus becoming the representation of that demographic they don't fit. That's fine to have a problem with. That makes sense to have a problem with. But I will back everybody back up over here to what is actually happening. Genshin Impact is based on anime. That's the flat fact of the matter. It takes its inspiration from Japanese anime, which has classically, pretty much uniformly, portrayed its antagonists, protagonists, and side supporting characters with light complexions. This is something that Japanese picked up around the time they first encountered the Dutch. And it seems like all at once, their ancient art started depicting them with skin color that's similar to mine. And that's just how they move forward. They present themselves with characters with blonde hair and blue eyes constantly. And that's fine. Nobody in Europe is mad about this. Or that's my culture in Attack on Titan. You can't have that. That's cultural appropriation. No. People were thrilled to death that German architecture found its way into an anime, that Lederhosen found its way into an anime. So, just everybody needs to back off a little bit about this on the Genshin side, right? The Genshin kids, come on, just calm down about this. It's what your teachers have told you matter. But when you get out into the real world, you start meeting people that have bills to pay, children to feed, they have aspirations that are greater than leading massive racially charged protests. They tend not to care because at the end of the day, it's just a video game and it's not trying to tell you that Africa is full of Mualanis or that South America is full of cool guy with necklace. You know, it's not, again, the name's just completely lost on me at the moment. I'm sorry. So you got these characters, though, that, again, these are not meant to be representations of nations and people. They're meant to be inspired, take cultural visuals from, aesthetics from. And even then, they really didn't do that. I mean, look at these characters that they're complaining about right here. They chose these three in particular. I don't see anything that deliberately steps out and says, hey, this is from Brazil. And it says, hey, this is from Argentina, or hey, this is from the Congo, or this is from Madagascar. None of that. None of that is present here. These are just anime character designs that I'm not even sure look South American or African just outright in their presentation. Nobody in Africa walks around dressed like this, so it's not like they chose somebody off the street and took their fit, you know? The reality is they animeified all of this, so if it has any roots in the culture, it is so very much surface level that it doesn't have any bearing, really, on what this complaint is about cultural appropriation and whitewashing. Oh no. Boo-hoo. But I will say something very fun happened, okay? Very, very fun happened. The Game Grumps got sponsored by Hoyoverse to play Genshin Impact. Now, if you're not familiar with Aaron and Dan, they don't typically play games like this. They are typically engaged in retro games or indie games or games that are just kind of bizarre, kind of strange, kind of offbeat. And they like to do their improv thing where they play around in the world and break the mechanics of the game or just try to have fun with what the base level of the game is while role-playing being inside of it. They're not on screen usually, it's just audio, sort of like a podcast with people that are enjoying a game. It's called a Let's Play if you're not familiar. And so this is a massive channel. They are around 7 or 8 million subscribers now. I think they're maybe even higher. I could be completely getting that wrong. But Dan and Aaron do this this playthrough. I can't show you clips from it and stuff like that, but I knew immediately that this was the work of the Hoyoverse crew trying to get back on the Boycotters. Because Aaron and Dan are very popular with late millennials like myself. They're popular with Zoomers and more or less the alphas. They, you know, on the cusp. Their humor is a little different for the alphas, but you'll see them come through. And so the these two stumbling through this game, not knowing much about it, and of course being given all of like the promotional codes in order to get like really good treatment in the game, really high levels, and all the desirable characters when you do the gacha system, where you get a random character, you know. And I'm just sort of beside myself with how genius that was by Hoyoverse to come through and say, we're gonna have you guys win the game with no problem. And see, again, you got a boycotter here that's just kind of mad, kind of uppity about the situation, and explains the Game Grumps editing their Genshin video to make the rates look better during a sponsored video was not on my bingo card, but here we are. And they show the edits that are happening here when Aaron manages to get Mualani on his first pull. Like, I don't know about you, but I laughed so hard when he was like, first try, and it just, boom, there's Mualani, the most desirable pull out there right now. And, of course, they're editing, like, all of his different bonuses going on here, the animations in the game to show him powering up that stuff. And, of course, unlocking Mualani on the first try. And then, of course, his star power here, his wishes, rather. His wishes are down. Sorry, got my icons mixed up. His wishes are down. But again, it's it's funny to me. These people are freaking out about the situation, and I just love the fact that the Game Grumps went out and got themselves a a sponsorship from Genshin Impact during all of this mess. So if you're done with this video, I highly recommend that you go over and check out the Game Grumps playthrough. If you like cringe, you're going to enjoy this. It's two guys One guy's in his mid-40s, the other guy's in his late 30s, and they are absolutely not versed in Genshin Impact. Aaron tries to allude that he's played it a few times, but man, it's pretty funny to watch him go around and like instead of completing the quests, he kills the quest characters. So he's not getting any of the quests completed because he keeps killing the quest characters. But you go on through, you're gonna laugh your ass off when you find the part where he ends up walking off the edge of a cliff and losing Mualani after only having her for about 10 minutes. It's amazing. And again, guys, until the next video, good luck out there.